So you've been invited to give a Chalk Talk. Congratulations, first of all. That means you've made it through the interview process pretty well. So a Chalk Talk is a chance to share about your research plan to either a group of 2 to 3 faculty or even maybe a conference room full of people. And the word Chalk Talk is applied pretty broadly to different kinds of presentation styles. It could be a PowerPoint presentation if it's virtual, or it could be live in front with like a chalkboard or a whiteboard that you're drawing on. And so prepare for these different kinds of formats. During the Chalk Talk, you want to structure it similar to your R01. So you want to talk about the significance of your research, the impact on the field, and then of course go through the specific aims and how you would imagine integrating into their department as well. In terms of delivering the Chalk Talk, there's 2 main components. You want to think about planning, and then you want to think about practice. So when it comes to planning, a couple of things. I would ask the department chair, whoever invited you, first of all, a little bit about the format, about how much time you have. Typically it's 10 to 15 minutes. If you actually will have a whiteboard, and if the audience or the faculty who will attend are typically the type that are going to let you finish the whole talk and then ask questions, or if they're the kind that like to have questions back and forth, just to prepare yourself mentally for the type of interactions that you'll be having. So plan for that. The next thing you want to do for planning has to do with the content, right? So it's going to be based on your specific aims of the research plan. So you'll want to present no more than, 3. And then you don't want to show that it's like too ambitious or that it's like a fishing expedition. You want to be realistic for the type of research that you'll get started doing. You're going to want to make some sort of connection to that department and talk about how you'll either connect with or collaborate with the research in the department to show that you'll fit. And then you're going to try, if you can, to make one model or figure that incorporates those 3 parts. And then when it comes to practicing, you're going to practice the delivery of it. Again, if you find out it's between 10 and 15 minutes, and making sure that if you are talking to other people as you rehearse, that they're clear about what your goals are and how you'll achieve it, and then practice answering questions. Now, when it comes to day of, one of the key things that I learned from Dr. Robert Maley at the Gladstone, he used to teach Chalk Talks, like a whole hour-long thing. But one of the key tips that stays with me is that you want to go to the room ahead of time and prep some of your key figures, or if you're walking through a model, do like the general parts of it, and then you fill it in as you talk. Like if you've got a protein structure, or if you've got like a cell model or pathway, then you go and you start some of it, so that as you go and you talk, you just put in your key elements. You're not going to want to write down whole like bullet points or anything. That's not what the Chalk Talk is for. It's to help illustrate the points as you present your story and your research. What about the questions part of the Chalk Talk? Well, questions will typically fall into 2 categories. People are curious, or people are trying to test you. Now, we're going to hope that it's not qualifying all over again, so that it's mostly curiosity. They want to know how you think about things, how you problem solve, and envision what it might be like to collaborate with you or have discussions with you in the department. Now, when you're asked a question, feel free to take a minute, clarify the question, make sure you know what you're referring to, and then be succinct. If you're not sure what the answer is, this is not the time to pretend like you do. What you want to do instead is just clarify the question, or ask them like, oh, how are you thinking about that, so that they, can engage in a conversation, because that's honestly the best outcome of the Q&A part, is that you start to engage in a very intellectual, engaging conversation about science and about how you do science, and start to envision being in the department. And at the very end, don't forget to express your gratitude. Thank them for the opportunity to come and share about your research and learn about theirs. And the last thing to keep in mind is that it's a great opportunity to be in the room with a bunch of other really engaging scientists talking about your science. And that at the end of the day, even though it's stressful to prepare, when you're in the moment, just remember that you're there to share what you're excited about, learn what they're excited about, and enjoy yourself a little. Have fun and share about your science and yourself. So hopefully that'll get you started, and check out the description for more resources.